Hello, I'm John Chadwick. I'm the professor that teaches the Maymester Field Studies class in New Mexico. And in 2022, we're going to have the class starting on May 17th. What we'll do is we'll meet in the Albuquerque, New Mexico airport. So you'll get your own plane tickets to fly to Albuquerque, and I'll meet you there with vans to pick you up before 3 p.m. Be there before 3 p.m. on May 17th. And I'll deliver you back to Albuquerque on June the 4th. And some people fly out, and after 10 p.m. you can get a red eye on June the 4th, or some people spend the night. There's a relatively inexpensive hotel in Albuquerque right near the airport with a free airport shuttle. Most people fly out the next day, June the 5th. That's when the faculty will be leaving as well. So field studies is a class where you learn large scale field methods. A lot of earth sciences employment has a field element to it. And so being able to safely and confidently work out in a large field area is a really important skill set to have. We'll also learn some Western North America geology about the Rocky Mountains and the Basin and Range and the Rio Grande Rift and so forth. So it's a cool class. We get to see a lot of beautiful landscapes and learn a lot of interesting geology. This is the class from 2018, jumping for joy in one of our field areas. This is 2019. This was the last time we were able to teach field studies out west. Of course, it's been virtual the past 2 years because of COVID, but in 2022, fingers and toes crossed that we're going to be able to go back out. It certainly looks that way. Things are shaping up so we can actually go back out and do the real thing in Maymester 2022. All right, so where we go again, we'll meet in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is New Mexico. We'll spend the first part of our class up in Taos, New Mexico, in northern New Mexico. This is our field area. This is the Rio Grande Rift. It's a big continental rift. These are the southern Rocky Mountains. So we learn a lot of Rockies and rift geology. There's volcanoes in this area. There's sedimentary rocks from the Mesozoic. There's metamorphism. There's billion-year-old rocks. There's all kinds of different cool places to do mapping projects. We'll do 3 multi-day mapping projects where we get to hike around and see the rocks. And we stay here at a place called Austing Haus, just right outside of Taos, New Mexico. So the classrooms, of course, are not PowerPoint slides, and they're not in classrooms. They're outside. We look at real outcrops and field sites, and we have large areas that we hike around and map in and learn how to safely and confidently work our way around in an outdoor setting like this, and do geology out in the real world and look at big structures, faults and folds, and map stratigraphy, and look at different kinds of rocks and make maps and read maps and use outdoor field equipment as well. All right. So part of our time we stay at a really cool bed and breakfast called Austing Haus. Several decades ago, the folks at Austing Haus realized that they weren't getting any more skiers in the Taos Ski Valley in the spring, but that these geology field camps were coming through. And so they started offering a pretty reasonable price to stay at Austing Haus and to feed us 3 meals a day. It's a pretty good price considering that the skiers pay $200 a night and we pay a whole lot less than that. We get fed and we have a nice dry place to do our research. So we'll stay there for a while, and then we go on a road trip mostly through Utah, the southeastern Utah national parks. In the second part, we do a lot of camping and driving through the national parks and learn about the geology. Cook a lot of great food, sit around the campfires, and take a lot of great hikes. And I do some cooking a couple of nights, but everybody gets a chance to contribute to the meals. So if you have a special recipe that you like to cook, you'll have a chance to share that old family recipe. We'll all pitch in and cook our meals when we're on this road trip. So that's a lot of fun to eat outdoors while we're camping. So things to think about for getting when you pack your bags for field studies. You don't want hard-sided luggage. You want one big giant duffel bag, and you can get duffel bags that are 3 feet long to put your stuff in. And of course, you can have your day pack, but no hard-sided luggage because we have to pack everything really tightly into the back of the vans. And so we want soft-sided luggage. You'll need a tent, of course, or you can share a tent with someone else. You need a sleeping bag that'll keep you warm. We do sometimes camp when it's in the 30s. And very important, if you're looking ahead, maybe you want to ask for a holiday gift, get some comfortable broken in hiking boots. So get some really good quality hiking boots and then break them in before Maymester so you don't get blisters. That's very important. And go through this list of items that you'll need. I'm very happy to talk about it, but these are the things you want to start to acquire before Maymester that you'll need to take with us on field studies. All right. When we're thinking about clothing, you'll want to deal with cold weather and hot weather. So be prepared to dress in layers. We do almost always get at least one snowstorm when we're up in the Rockies at Austing House. At least almost every year it snows at least once. And then when we're down at lower elevations, down in the deserts, it can be up in the 80s. It can get pretty hot. So, everything from winter to summer, the great news is the humidity is a lot lower. So even if it's hot, it's not humid. So be prepared to dress in layers and bring all the clothes you might need for that, and be able to get dirty. Don't bring any really nice clothes because you're going to get dirty hiking around in these areas. All right, so here's the budget. It's a 4-credit class, so you're in or out of state tuition. There is going to be a class fee that we're still working on. Austing House looks like they're going to raise our rates a little bit, so we're not exactly sure how much that fee is going to be. We did the fee 2 years ago was $750, so we're going to let you know what that class fee will be as soon as we know what it is. And then you'll buy your own plane ticket to Albuquerque from wherever you are at the start of the class. So you might want to start looking at plane ticket prices. And plane ticket prices are a lot like the stock market. They go up, they go down. So you want to buy them when they're cheap. There is financial support available from the College of Charleston. It's called the Royal Hartenberger Fund. You do apply for it. It's need-based, but because it hasn't really been tapped into for the past couple of years because of COVID, I think there is probably financial support for several students, and so don't hesitate to apply for that financial support. There is that optional hotel in Albuquerque we'll arrive in Albuquerque on June 4th again on the last day of the class, and most people stay in this Ramada Albuquerque airport. That's where the faculty is going to stay that night, and students share rooms, and so it's pretty low price, and then there's a free shuttle from the hotel to the airport. So things to do soon. Keep watching those Albuquerque flights and prices, and buy when you see a good price. Those dates are set. So be in Albuquerque before 3 p.m. on May 17th. 3 p.m. is when we're going to leave the airport in the vans. If you're having trouble finding a flight from wherever you are that gets in there before 3 p.m., let me know, and we can certainly adjust our schedule a little bit if necessary. But it's very important that we get on the road at a reasonable time. And again, we'll be back in Albuquerque on June the 4th. So you can get a red eye out that night or anytime the next day on June 5th. So get your gear. There will be a deposit and registration in March. You don't want to make your decision at the last minute. This is a Maymester class, but you do need to make a final decision in the spring semester by March. We're going to need your definite yes or no. There are only 20 spots potentially for the class, and so you don't want to get bumped, especially those of you who need field studies to graduate. Tell your employers, tell anybody who might miss you that you're going to be gone for almost 3 weeks, and let us know about medications and allergies and dietary restrictions. All your health information will be kept confidential, of course. All right, and very importantly, I'm in my 50s, and I'll be doing all these hikes with you guys. So most of you guys are in better shape than I am. But if you're thinking maybe I can't do a 5 or 6 or 7 mile hike, Maybe I can't deal with these rigorous hikes that we might be doing in field studies. Come talk to me, because there are some pretty long hikes some days, some pretty tough terrain. So most of you will be absolutely fine. But if you have any questions about the rigor, the physical aspect of the class, come talk to me about it. The good news is you have 6 months, plenty of time to maybe get in a little better shape if you need to. But that's very important, because we will be hiking some days, hiking miles into our field areas and to see these beautiful field areas. All right, so adventure and awesome geology. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Just talk to me or send me an email, chadwickj@cfc.edu. Get me your email address so we can get you into the loop. Talk to Kristen or me about getting the emails about the class. And again, we'll have announcements about costs and the syllabus and the schedule and all that stuff. All right, thanks very much. I hope to see you there. Take care.